Battered and beaten from the 12-day war with Israel. What is the Ayatollah's next step to demonstrate that Iran may be down but not out as an influential force in the Middle East? Just before the U.S. bombing raid on Iranian nuclear sites, American intelligence detected the Iranian military loading naval mines onto vessels in the Persian Gulf. Although ballistic missile and drone strikes have stopped for now, what's the likelihood that Iran may take action to block shipping lanes, especially oil traffic, through the strategically important Strait of Hormuz? Well, joining us is Middle East analyst, Young Voices Middle East History and Peace Fellow, Abdallah Hayek. Abdallah, you believe the Iranian leaders may want to flex their muscles to demonstrate Iran is still a powerful force in the Middle East, but disrupting the flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz, wouldn't that be economic suicide for Iran?
It would most certainly be economic suicide for Iran. I think Iran's very few cards it has left to deal with on the global economic platform is its oil, and it happens to send it to one of its closest allies, China. And China would not be happy if a sudden cutoff of Iranian oil would be imposed. And as you mentioned, it'd be suicide. But I think Iran will happen to consider that in the event that the situation escalates in the region. But right now, as we've seen with the ceasefire, I don't think Iran is going to escalate to that level yet. If there is a re-escalation of hostilities again between Israel and Iran and possibly a second U.S. intervention, that's a very likely scenario.
Well, I'll remind our viewers that Libya's Muammar Gaddafi mined the Red Sea and the Suez Canal in 1984, and I was there covering that international minesweeping effort, and that didn't work out too well for Gaddafi. What else might Iran do to leverage its position in possible peace talks?
Well, Iran still has a lot more cards to play with besides the Strait of Hormuz closure. It still has considerable capabilities within its proxies, within the axis of resistance. Although Hamas is pretty much decimated by the Israelis in Gaza, there's still the Houthis in Yemen that still pose a serious danger in the Red Sea. The Assad regime in Syria is no more. The playground for Iran's proxies and their threatening of U.S. allies such as Syria, such as Jordan, Israel, the Saudis has gone. Hezbollah has been very much weakened, but still poses a threat, and the same extends to the Iraqi Shia militias, the Popular Mobilization Forces. So the proxies still pose a threat. But I think the major threat that Iran poses is, as we've seen, is the airborne threat it has. Its sophisticated drone and missile program, in which it uses a saturation assault where it exhausts the air defenses of American allies in the region. And as we've seen, it has managed to land and hit positions in Israel, with over 28 dead in Israel. That's the first time in many decades.
Yeah, they probably have the most extensive missile capability and drone capability in the Middle East. And the Pentagon reports that Operation Midnight Hammer has set back the Iranian nuclear program by 1 to 2 years. Is there any evidence they will attempt to reconstitute their program, or do you think they will agree to halt their nuclear enrichment and development efforts?
I think that the Iranian response to Operation Midnight Hammer was a major reason that indicates that the nuclear program hasn't been fully decimated. It has been struck, it has been affected, and it has been backtracked. But due to the medium to low response that we've seen by hitting missiles towards Al Udeid base in Qatar, 14 missiles, that doesn't really indicate that they're really angry that their program has been decimated, but it has been affected. So I think the signs that we have to look for is, are the Iranians going to be very excited to get back to the negotiating table? Because if they are, it means that they don't have much cards to play with and that their nuclear program has been indeed backtracked.
Well, President Trump still believes that more than four decades of enmity between the U.S. and Iran can be overcome and replaced with good relations and economic opportunities. What do you think lies ahead?
I seriously doubt that the current regime in Tehran is in any position to be dealt with in a positive manner. They have been extremely hostile, not just to the United States, but to the whole region, Arabs and Israelis alike. They have intervened in the internal affairs of nearly every government in the region. They wish to topple every Western-backed government in the region. I don't think they're the partner that anyone wants to deal with. Are we going to see regime change in Iran? That's, very likely and unlikely at the same time. I think that the major step that needs to be taken by who? It has to be the Iranian people. Are they willing to take the step and remove their government and elect a government that wants to integrate with the region and the world as a whole? That has to be the step. But I don't think that American boots in Persian sands right now is a very good choice for the Trump administration.
Well, the people of Iran don't have the guns, so they need to overthrow the regime. We'll see what happens there. Young Voices fellow Abdallah Hayek, thank you for sharing your insights with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.